They Will Kill You is a 2026 American action horror film directed by Kirill Sokolov and stars Zazie Beetz, Patricia Arquette, Heather Graham, Myha'la, Patterson Joseph, and Tom Felton. So hope you're all doing well, guys. And yes, I am wearing different glasses. These are my old glasses from like fucking 2017, I think. So everyone that talks shit about me over the last number of years or whatever for having scratched up glasses, I guess you can't make that joke anymore. But what you can say is like, hey, Eli, 2010 called and he wants his glasses back. It's pretty good, I think. It's much better than,
hey bro, do you ever clean your glasses?
Yes, I do. Anyways, I have a new pair of glasses on order, so we'll get back to normal life, hopefully in a couple weeks. But until then, let's get back to this review. So the plot follows a woman fresh out of prison and looking to save her sister from a strange cult living in a Manhattan high-rise. The first 4 months or so of 2026 haven't been particularly strong for me. But this movie was actually kind of a gem for me personally, considering I had no real expectations going into this. I mean, I liked the trailer a lot. I liked it quite a bit, and what you see there is largely what you get here, aside from the fairly generic plot and, non-linear storytelling. And I love a good female action hero, and I may not have been as interested in this if it weren't for Zazie Beetz, to be honest, because for some reason I expected just kind of another John Wick-esque, hyper-violent action movie, format that it's been getting really old. I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks that. I mean, this movie's definitely hyper-violent, but it's in a completely different way. Something much more up my alley. It is essentially just like fight scene after fight scene, but more in like a Kill Bill style, kind of classic martial arts movie-influenced way. I really dig it. The beginning shows our main character, Asia, played by Zazie Beetz, and her little sister, Maria, played by Myha'la, trying to escape their abusive father. So if you've seen the trailer, you know that Asia at one point goes to prison, and I had been curious as to why. So Asia ends up shooting her father as an attempt to protect Maria and herself, but he lives, and Asia is arrested and sent to prison. Again, this utilizes non-linear storytelling very much in the vein of classic Tarantino films, Kill Bill especially. And this is a 94-minute movie, so it's fairly tight, with the way it handles the story. So you really only see Asia in prison once or twice, and mostly just to show you how she learned to fight in prison. Brawls, basically, which is a nice touch. I loved it. So 10 years later, she's free and wastes no time, of course, in finding her sister. And as any good sister would, I just love a character that has this kind of motivation, She's going to find Maria no matter what it takes, or who has to die. These are my favorite characters pretty much always. And a character with nothing to lose and everything to gain is always, the cherry on top for me. I think you get the point. So Maria is now working as a maid at a mysterious Manhattan high-rise called the Virgil. I was going to say the Vigil. Called the Virgil. Pretty much housing wealthy elites, and this film does have a theme of being anti-rich, basically. Although I actually wish that theme was just a little bit more impactful. But it's there, and it's cool. So Asia infiltrates the Virgil as a new housekeeper, and things get pretty wild really quick. She's greeted by Lilith, the building manager, played by Patricia Arquette, the lead villain here. I love her. I kind of love all the Arquettes, to be honest. So, anyways, Lilith is not too far removed from her character on Severance, I would say. They're very close. Excellent show, by the way, Severance. And this movie has some really, really cool set pieces. The Virgil is almost like a character itself. The outside looks like something from an old gothic horror film. Very stylized, of course. The inside looks like it hasn't changed at all in its 100-year existence, almost like time doesn't touch it. The residents, they seem nice enough, one of them being Heather Graham. Great here as always loved Heather. So it's a live-in position that Asia gets, and the first night, someone sneaks into her room wearing a black cloak and like a pig mask, and it turns into at least an hour of non-stop action, literally from this point on. And Asia, just as a character, really reminded me of Uma Thurman's The Bride from Kill Bill, of course. Very vengeance-driven and very able to, fight her way out of every situation. There's a satanic cult thing going on that I expected to be super generic and predictable. And it does take a turn for the weird and kind of silly. Almost Evil Dead 2. And I won't spoil any more, but you get some wacky supernatural stuff. And I was kind of surprised, I guess, but it does add a little bit of unique flair, which is nice because, like I said, this movie does borrow, but it does so respectfully, in my opinion. So I'm giving They Will Kill You 3 out of 4 stars. It's a ton of fun. Some of the most, fun I've had in the theater this year. It just was. The fight choreography, especially with Zazie Beetz, is really cool. And she's a convincing action hero, man. Although I never really had any doubts. I always liked Zazie. And I think I've said it before, but in fact, the first time I saw her was in the first Joker movie. And I was just super bummed when she turned out to be like part of Arthur's imagination and not real. They Will Kill You isn't necessarily scary, but it is dark. And it's got lots of blood spraying and violence. And I'm definitely going to check out some of Kirill Sokolov's previous Russian films. It looks like he's got 2 that look really cool. This is an American film, technically, but it has a distinctly European feel at times. And considering all the, the mediocre stuff I've seen this year, it's kind of refreshing. There's cool cinematography, tons of style. I particularly liked how the title card was formed out of a message written on a bathroom mirror. So I definitely recommend this one. Cheers, guys, and I'll see you at the multiplex.
Subscribe right now, please.